Welcome to Recovery Corner, where the many pathways of recovery intersect. This is a space where you will hear personal stories of triumph in recovery, gain insights into various recovery-oriented systems, and learn how leaders across the country are building recovery-ready communities. The Recovery Corner podcast does not provide clinical advice.
Hey, wonderful people. Welcome to the Recovery Corner podcast. Today we're beginning our series on building meaningful relationships in recovery. We're going to explore some of the ideas and concepts that are coming out of the communication framework called authentic relating. And our goal with this work is to learn some skills and ideas that will lead us to more belonging, more community, and more connection in our relationships during the recovery journey. And so my name's Brian. I'm a person in long-term recovery, and I facilitate all recovery meetings for young people in recovery. And something we noticed that's kind of inspiring this series is that this is a common topic that comes up for people in our meetings. So over the last 2 years, since I've been involved at YPR, we've facilitated over 100 meetings. And it's just a topic that's just kind of always coming up. Relationships, how to navigate challenges in interpersonal relationships, intimate relationships, family relationships, community relationships. And then also when we do surveying at YPR, building meaningful connections is always either number one or number two on the list at least over the course of the last 2 years. And so, and just on a personal level, y'all, my take is that connection and being social is a value. It's an important value for many of us, and especially really important in addiction, which is often characterized by loneliness, by disconnection, by feeling alienated from others that we were previously close to, or just who are existing in the world with us. And so because of this, this topic becomes really, really important. And so what we're going to talk about is kind of what are some helpful skills for building strong connections in recovery. We're going to talk about why that's important and why learning some of these skills, specifically about being authentic and finding our personal values, why these are so important to us, and then how to do it. So we'll talk about like what is authenticity, what is being real, why it's such an important concept, and how to do it. And so let's start with the what. And so I kind of alluded to it, but the kind of concept or topic I wanted to bring in from authentic relating today is authenticity itself, or being real is how I've been thinking about it. So when I use either being real or authenticity, I'm using those. What's the word I'm looking for here? I'm kind of using those at the same time to mean the same thing. Interchangeably is the word I'm looking for. I'm using authenticity and being real interchangeably. And so here's some definitions I thought about or found on the internet. Being true to yourself, authenticity or being real means being true to yourself. Being real is an alignment between who you are, who you show the world, and who you show the world. You're true to your own personality, values, and spirit, regardless of the pressure that you might feel to act otherwise, to not be kind of true to yourself. And then one I thought about is just an alignment between our values, our actions, and our words. And so this is what authenticity could mean. And so why? I guess before we get into the why, one more thing I just wanted to say is maybe it does seem a little bit paradoxical. I'm asking us to really focus on ourselves today. The series is about connecting, being able to connect with others in recovery and build meaningful relationships. But as a starting point, a lot of the training in authentic relating really starts with the self. And I find that it's just an interesting, I kind of want to name that right now. because that might seem a bit paradoxical, but maybe showing up for others, one of the first steps that we need to do is really get clear with ourselves. This is an idea that we maybe be playing around with today, but now transitioning into like why. So like why get into this authenticity, especially when I just talked about the pressure thing. So in one of the definitions, it was said, you're true to your own personality, values, and spirit, regardless of the pressure that you're under to act otherwise. And honestly, I relate to that. Sometimes there's a pressure that I feel to like conform or fit in or kind of not say certain things that I think will that feel true to me, but I'm worried how they'll land for others. And while it's of course nice to care about others, I think that's a value of mine as well. Caring for others. Sometimes it's being authentic means like kind of taking that risk and saying really what's on my heart, and that can be hard to feel that pressure to not do it. And so why would I or any of us decide that I want to face this uncomfortable pressure? And even when maybe some of us have history of telling subtle lies or embellishing or just highlighting aspects of ourselves, one aspect of ourselves, and hiding others in an effort to fit in, find acceptance. So why this authenticity? And I was thinking of three reasons. So this is something also learned in the authentic relating training. Being able, reason one, to express oneself authentically in recovery groups or in therapy and treatment is one of the main predictors of a successful treatment outcomes. And this was very interesting to me. It's called the non-specific factors, things that any therapeutic treatment needs to have to be successful. One of those elements is the ability to feeling comfortable sharing authentically with the therapist or with the recovery group. And so being authentic is very beneficial to treatment goals and healing goals. So that's one. The second one is it's nice for us. It's nice. It feels good on a personal level, despite that pressure, because it's easy. It's easier than constantly having to think and monitor what self do I have to be in this moment. Just be organic and real. That feels easy. There's more of a flow to it. Also, it's more enjoyable because even though some people might not like it or something, when someone does like it, it's who we really are, right? It's like I'm feeling love for my true self, and if I ever don't have the energy to put this mask on, I'll still be liked by these people. And maybe some other people, they won't be vibing with it, or they won't. It's not for them who we really are, and that's okay as well. But it's actually good to learn that because it's not a rejection; it's more so finding alignment. And so that's the second one. It's easier for us. It's easier for us to be authentic. And that's why it's desirable. And it's also desirable for others, which is the third reason, because of trust. If I can be authentic, if you can be authentic, others around us will know that we're not acting, and they can really be able to lock in and connect with us. Because if we offer appreciation, or if we speak in any way, we'll be able to build that trust with other people. Okay, and so maybe these why reasons have convinced you to kind of go on an authenticity or being real journey. And if that's the case, okay, like how do we do this? Like how do we actually do this? And this is where some of the authentic relating comes in. And in the authentic relating training I've done, the focus has in all the trainings is always started with personal values. And the idea is that before we can connect with others, we need to connect to ourselves, which I alluded to earlier. And here are some questions, like after we go through this experience together, we'll be taking a step on the path to learn more about these questions. And so I'm going to offer them now. Like, who are you? What do you need right now in your life? On these two questions, we can start exploring them together right now. And they're absolutely essential to the ability to be authentic in the world, or to be real in the world. And this is where this idea of core values comes in the authentic relating training. And so core values are the things that we care most about and in our life, and they're one of the biggest influences on our behavior. And there's a whole set of exercises and tools we went through in the training, and I'm going to link them below so you can look at them. And if you want to do a deep dive, that would be amazing, and let me know. Hit us up on Instagram or on social media, or shoot me an email, and we'll talk about it, how it goes. But in this video, let's just do a really quick one together, and just like think in our mind right now, like what is an aspect of life that means a lot to us? Like what's something that just comes up? What's the first thing that pops into your mind? And so just pausing as this kind of settles in, and don't be bashful. Whatever comes in is great. And our task now is to try to find a way to get alignment between this thing, which is a thing we value, our actions, and our words. And the thing that popped into my mind earlier when I was doing this is I love dance. I really love to go out to dance. It's like something that's really important to me on a number of levels. And the value for me is connection, actually, because it feels so good to be around people who like the same activity and really support others' expression, creative expression. And so I guess there's two there. There's kind of a connection and expression are two things that I value in dance. And for me, the action, so those are my values, my value. The action is just honestly like making time, like, hey, on Friday night, this is where I'm going. On Saturday evening, maybe it's Saturday evening, I'm going here. And I'm just making time and sticking to that and having that time boundary where this is where I take some time to express this thing, and these are my actions. And then with words, I was thinking about this one because dance is, it's very physical, but just sometimes it's really nice afterwards to just connect with someone and say, hey, I really appreciated that moment we shared. Or sometimes I meet someone who does something really cool and I want to ask them, like, how do you do that? And we have a moment of connection where they're like teaching or demonstrating it if they feel like it. We're saying, I don't know, let's kind of play around with it. And these kind of questions have led to like really nice friendships for me. And I think it's because these things are coming into alignment. The thing I value, having the courage to speak about it, and then also making the time to do it. And so I encourage you to go through this exercise right now. Like think about something you really value, and then pick an action, and say something to a person about this thing that you value. And let us know how it goes. Let us know on Instagram or in the comments. We'll be back soon for our next episode. If you have specific topics with interpersonal relationships, belonging that you want us to cover, let us know and we'll prioritize them. And for now, y'all, check out our website, follow Young People in Recovery, get involved in the chapter, and we'll see you at an event soon.